Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pet Connection Unleashed. This is episode number 3, and we're going to cover all kinds of pet programs that are out there available to all of you. One of the things that always comes up, spay neuters. And I hear this from dozens of people, maybe hundreds of people in a year. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. It's so expensive. I didn't know it would be $600 or $500. I get it. It's, veterinary hospitals, they have a lot of overhead. It's expensive for them to run their businesses. But with that being said, there are programs out there that I'm going to tell you about that can save you some money. You should still go to your veterinarian. You should always go to your veterinarian to make sure your pet is happy and healthy. Want to introduce my producer again today.
Hello.
Sarah Rizzo. Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you. We got, I just want to mention, if you hear some heavy breathing, it's not Sarah, it's not me. It's this guy next to me. His name is Murray. And Ashley Wheel is going to be my guest coming up from the Montgomery County SPCA. Murray was on Pet Connection. We just taped Pet Connection. So the heavy breathing is Murray, not us, right? So we're all set. So Ashley, we'll talk to you in just a little bit. All right, low-cost spay neuters. What you need to do is kind of make a little bit of an effort. A lot of shelters will have low-cost clinics. Off the top of my head, and there's probably more, first thing is to call the shelter that's close to you, whether it be the Montgomery County SPCA in Amsterdam. They have low-cost clinics, include shots, vaccines, microchips, things like that. The Mohawk Hudson, the Animal Protective Foundation. I do believe the Columbia Green Humane Society as well. They all vary in price, but it would be a savings for you. But anytime you adopt a pet, you should always find a veterinarian, an animal hospital for your pet. There's a shortage of veterinarians, so you should start looking immediately. Don't put it off until you need a veterinarian. Do it in advance or do it right after you adopt. And have them do a physical examination, some initial blood work, so they have a baseline of your dog's or cat's blood, so you can compare it if, God forbid, something happens down the road. So you should always try to get a veterinarian early, get your pet in there. I know most that come out of shelters and rescues are happy and healthy, but you want to have that baseline and you want to develop a relationship with a veterinarian in a hospital if you need them. Again, low-cost spay-neuter. Make some phone calls. Talk to people. There are clinics out there. And you may have to wait a week or 2 weeks. You might have to get on a waiting list. But it's worth it. And you'll save money. And you're doing the right thing. We don't want any more puppies or kittens. Shelters right now are overloaded. In some cases, adoptions are down or very slow. Everybody wants to adopt a puppy or kitten. I always worry about the adult dogs and the adult cats. Those are the ones that get overlooked the most, or the ones that may have a little bit of a disability going on that really isn't a disability. So think about that. Puppies and kittens are a lot of work. An adult dog or an adult cat is normally a lot easier. They fit in. You kind of already know what you have in advance. So you know their personality, you know their habits. They might already be trained or easier to train. You don't know how many times I talk to folks at rescues and shelters that say, and I'll ask them, hey, why did this dog or cat come to the shelter? It's only 6 months old. It's only a year old. Well, the excuses can be anything. Drives me crazy. Allergies. Some are legit, some are an excuse. The dog pees in the house all the time. Well, it's a puppy. I put that on you. On you. You need to train them. Take them out every 3 hours. Reward them. I've been through it so many times. And yes, the first 3 to 6 months, it's difficult. But it's on you. It's not on that pet. How does a pet know what door to go to? Crazy, right? You have to show them and reward them. Be positive about it. Don't be negative, screaming at them and yelling at them. Positive reinforcement. Yeah, you might not get a lot of sleep. You might be getting up at 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Make that commitment. That's why adult dogs and adult cats are typically a lot easier than puppies and kittens. You're going to have a lot of work to do. As you know, we have a Pet Connection Facebook page, 78,000 members. It's only 3 years old. 3 years ago, our original Pet Connection page got hacked on Facebook. If you recall, we had 150,000 followers. Now, out of that 150,000, how many were fake profiles? Social media can be really good and really bad. You know, when you have what I call a like page where people can just like your page, you have no idea who's on your page. You can get hacked really easy. People that hacked me were from Vietnam. That's what Facebook told me. I lost control of my page. They couldn't get it back. So they turned it off. I had to start from scratch. So what we did 3 years ago, we started a Facebook group. Not a like page, a group. You have to ask to come in. And I go through every single profile. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She goes, you spend 2 hours a day going through people wanting to be on your page. Well, if they're from somewhere in Asia, why would I accept them on a Pet Connection page in Albany, New York? Or if they want to put a comment down, hey, I want to be your friend. Can you please DM me? Why would I have that person in the group? Or there's so many pet search groups now that, and they're not even from around here. If you've lost your pet, this pet saved mine. Well, I look at the profile. The person's in California. So what I'm telling you is, be careful. My page that I set up 3 years ago, I go through every profile. They're all legit. Could there be a few fake ones in there? Yes. 99% are local to New England and New York. I don't like people from New Mexico joining my page. They're not going to add a lot to my page. So we have that as a resource for you if you lose your pet. We're posting Lost and Founds. You should check it out. It's Steve Caparizzo Pet Connection. You have to ask to come in. You can't just join. But I'll go through your profile. I'm a nosy guy. But I want to know everybody on our page is good. And there's no drama. And there's no stupid comments. Believe me, if there's something bad on that page, you're out. 1 strike, no 3-strike rule. 1 strike and you're out. We want the best page. So what do you do when you lose your pet? I always say contact the shelter closest to you and your animal control. Some towns have animal control full-time, some part-time, but make sure they know. And also let the police know so that if somebody finds your cat or dog, they're going to contact you. The second thing I would do is hand out flyers and knock on doors. How many times have I told people, knock on doors, and they go, well, I don't want to bother my neighbors. You're not bothering them, number one. And then they'll message me back and say, yeah, they had my cat three houses down the road. They found it in their garage. So hand out flyers knock on doors in your neighborhood. Now, initially, if you lose a dog, they can travel a little bit more obviously than a cat. I would have the search area initially at about a half a mile. Cats, especially if it's an indoor cat, they're probably going to hide and they're not going to go that far. Stick within like 5 or 10 houses around you in a circle. Flyers, knock on doors, have them check sheds, garages, basements. I can't tell you how many times somebody was mowing their lawn. They get through at the end of the day, they push their mower in their shed, they close the door. Guess who's in that shed hiding? A cat. So always have your neighbors check sheds, garages. Sometimes they leave a basement door open and a cat will go in there to hide in basements. Now, as time goes by, you tend to expand out your search area for dogs and cats. So after 2 or 3 days, expand out. Put the effort in. Most of the time, you're going to be rewarded. They're usually scared and they're hiding. I think it was only about a month ago. We did a segment on pet bereavement. You may recall, losing a pet is difficult. I lost my dog, Benny. Hit my wife and I really hard. And I told you about some of the programs. It's always good to talk it out. They have classes or seminars once a month at the APF in the Mohawk Hudson. Do you have any at Montgomery County Bereavement?
Not at this time.
But search around. But the 2 local ones, and they can be done virtually, which is cool. APF, Montgomery County. Last week, we lost another one of our kids. There he is, Gabriel. Tough. Such a good boy. We rescued him at 4 to 5 weeks old. There he is. He's probably 6 or 7 weeks there. That's my mother's rocking chair. He loved my mom's rocking chair. And my mom was a cat lover. You enjoy every day that you have with your pets. He was healthy as a horse after being in the hospital for 2 weeks. First 2 weeks of his life, he was near death. Our veterinarian said, don't get too comfortable with him or too attached. He's probably not going to make it. He was found in Schenectady, dehydrated, blind in one eye, his lungs were filled with pneumonia. And he fought for 2 weeks, and he survived. He turned into be this beautiful guy. About a month and a half ago, we noticed, and this is where observing your pet's health is so important. It really, really is. That he was going to the bathroom more frequently. He couldn't hold it. He seemed to be drinking a little more, but he never went to the bathroom outside his litter box. Never. The guy was so good. So we thought maybe it was a bladder infection, UTI, something going on. Was not the case. So now you get more concerned. We did blood work, and again, we had initially blood work done a couple of years ago, I think. So we had something to compare it to. And his kidneys were failing bad. We did IV fluids. My wife and I do IV fluids. It's not a big deal for us. The hospital, the animal hospital, helped us. They did IV fluids. We tried for 2 weeks. We rechecked, and his kidneys were worse. His kidneys literally were shut down. So he stayed with us for another 2 weeks. And when you have kidney disease, a dog or a cat normally loses their appetite. They get nauseous, they get sick to their stomachs, they stop eating. And that's what happened. So when you have a dog or a cat, get to know what their normal is. Normal respiration, normal blood work, normal going to the bathroom. I know it sounds stupid. All those things, knowing normal is so important. So Gabe was 14 years old. He thought he was a dog. He grew up with dogs. Every dog we had in the family, he loved them. He slept with them. He groomed them. You'd see him laying in bed with a dog licking their face. He loved dogs. We miss him. Don't go away. We'll be back with more after this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My special guests, two of them today. Ashley Wheel. I've known this lady for way too many years. From the shelter manager at the Montgomery County SPCA and one of our volunteer coordinators at the shelter. She is amazing. She's been part of Pet Connection for so many years. She's brought in so many pets to me to be on TV from Montgomery County, which is always kind of cool. And here's one of them. Ashley, tell us a little briefly about Murray. Murray was one of our guests this week.
Yeah, and Pet Connection. Murray's been with us for a couple months. Sadly, he's been looked over a lot, and we're not really sure why. He's like that perfect size dog that everyone's looking for. Does well with dogs his size. You know, no interest in cats. Maybe a little bit too much for small children, but for someone that's active and likes to go for walks or even hikes, he is your dude.
And I'll tell you, some dogs you can bribe easily with treats. This guy was like crazy. He loves treats. Typical terrier, but just a good boy. I want to talk about you. What got you interested? Because usually it happens when you're young. You're still young. I'm old. How did you get interested in making a difference in a pet's life?
Actually, it was my mother. She was the shelter manager at Montgomery County SPCA in the early 2000s. So I've been with the organization since I was about 5 years old. And then just last week, as working at the shelter, I celebrated my 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you grew up with it, and a lot of times that's what we learn from our parents or our moms. That's how I learned as well. I know it's not a new shelter anymore. I still call it the new shelter because the old shelter was pretty tough back in the day. The shelter that you guys have now is unbelievable. There are so many people in Montgomery County that have never stopped by to see it. Just stop by and take a look at it. Tell us about the shelter.
It's a beautiful building compared to where we came from, you know, and we've only been there for 2 years, but it still feels like we just moved in there and are still, you know, figuring out new programs to offer to the community, expanding our spay neuter program. It's definitely been an adventure, but we're very grateful for what we have. And it's all thanks to the community that we have this building and we're able to serve more animals in our community.
It was, when I went there, it still smelled new, and that wasn't that long ago. With all the pets there, it still smells new. The setup is tremendous. You have a beautiful area for the cats. With the exchange of air, so there's no airborne illnesses, which I think is tremendous. The dog area is unbelievable. You have a surgical unit. You have everything. And people can come in, and if you're going through a difficult time and need help for food, toys, treats, you guys can help them. You have a little bit of everything there.
Yes, we try to make the biggest impact on our community, you know, whether it's keeping pets in their home, reuniting owners with their lost pets or adoptions, you know, whatever, you know, life-saving programs that we can create and maintain is, you know, very important for the animals.
And you have amazing people there.
We do.
I mean, I've been to
I think we have the best.
I go to so many galas and events and fundraisers. You guys are always so happy-go-lucky. You all like what you do. Now, I know not every day is perfect. There are good days and there are bad days.
Oh, absolutely.
But your work in the community and for our pets, it's so positive, and it's awesome to see. I think you guys have made such a huge huge impact
Absolutely.
in Montgomery County. And I've always said this. I remember the days when shelters were the bad places. You didn't want to go to a shelter. It was the final spot.
That's
for
when
a
they called
pet.
it a pound.
Right. Shelters today, and especially yours, they're happy places. They're places that people should want to go. Let me tell you, bringing your kids to a shelter just to see the animals, for you to go to a shelter and volunteer. They can always use volunteers, right?
Absolutely.
Walk the dogs, clean cages. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot, and it means a lot to the animals, so people can get involved in your programs.
Absolutely. We have volunteers that answer our phones. They help with the spay neuter program. They've helped with Pet Connection,
Yeah.
our adoption events. When you invite us, they are, kind of like the baseline of our whole shelter. They're a huge help, and we're so grateful to have them.
I think it's absolutely wonderful what a community can do, and I've always said a rescue or shelter cannot succeed without volunteers. You may think we can, but without you, a lot can't be done. And so we need more people to become more involved. And, donations are great, whether it be food donations, money donations can obviously help tremendously. But if you can't afford a money donation, you can donate your time. Your time has value.
Absolutely. It's valuable to the animals
Yeah.
that get that extra time out of their enclosure and get that one-on-one social. Our volunteers are always taking photos and videos and posting wherever they can on Facebook, just to try to get them out there, because you never know who's going to see them and say, that's the pet for me.
Exactly. It just takes one person to see a picture on Facebook or go to your website and read a bio on a dog like Murray, and that's all it takes. You could have 1,000 people look at a picture and nothing. 1,001, and they say, that reminds me of my cat growing up. I have to go see that cat, right? I want to go check it out.
You never
and
know.
Then adoption. Ashley, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
Murray, thank you.
He was very patient. I'm surprised.
He's going to be on TV the end of the week on Pet Connection. With our remaining time, I want to go through some of the events upcoming, and I'm going to go through these fairly quick, and I got my spectacles on. November 15th at the Columbia Green Humane Society, 10 to 2, at the shelter, Pictures with Santa Claus, $20 donation. That's a real good-looking Santa Claus. Dogs need to be on a leash, cats and small animals in carriers. No appointments necessary, November 15th. You can call them, 518-828-6044. Now, on November 20th, the Mohawk Hudson Humane Society, 5:30 to 6:30. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. They have a special program. It's called Unwrapping Puppy Responsibility. How many people are going to adopt a puppy or a kitten for Christmas? Which, in my opinion, is no. Don't do it. Buy them a stuffed animal. Wait till after the holidays when things are quieter. But this program, $10 per adult, kids are free. What it really means to adopt a pet. And there'll be some special guests there, other animals there. But you're going to learn about the responsibility. Not everybody's in the right position or the right time in their life to adopt. So that's November 20th, Mohawk Hudson, 5:30 to 6:30. Now, December 1st at the APF, 3 to 7. More pictures, holiday pictures with Santa, $25. Limited availability. So what you need to do is go on their website or their Facebook, social media, and register to set a time up. They're going to be like professional pictures. You don't want to miss it. That's December 1st. Now, this is kind of cool. The Brennan Humane Society, James A. Brennan Humane Society in Gloversville, November 14th is having a holiday fashion show. to benefit the animals. It begins at 6 p.m. It's at the Inn at the Bridge on Bridge Street in Northville, November 14th, 6 p.m. Limited seating, $20. Now, what you'd have to do is reserve your spot. Call Just Because Boutique, 518-848-2855, 518-848-2855. So as those events are upcoming, well, I got you, Ashley. What do you got coming up at the Montgomery County? Any fundraisers?
I think right now the next thing is our gala. So we're preparing for that for May.
That's always a big event. I always look forward to.
I know we're very excited. Our numbers just keep growing in the attendees, so we're hoping that this year again we'll have more people come, and we're just going to have a good time. And of course, we have you there.
I look forward to it.
Steve starts the party.
I don't know about that. I'm not. I think I bring everybody down.
Absolutely not.
But we have a lot of fun. Great auction items. So be looking for that. The Montgomery County SPCA Gala. It's a wonderful time. Raise a lot of money and awareness for the homeless pets. So that's it for episode number 3. Ashley, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Sarah, I want to see you.
Oh, hello. Yes, of
Thank
course,
you.
of course. Oh,
And Maury.
You said
Maury
you forgot
says-
me.
I didn't forget you. Thank you very much for your efforts. I wish I had some more treats in my pocket. Such a good boy. All right, folks, we'll see you next week for episode number 4. Have a good day.